Yo, back.
Yes. I'm like, when you mentioned food, I'm like, shit, I better eat as well.
Yeah, I,
Because I'm like, I got a missus at work today. She had to go into work, so a pre-workout meal will be about 1:30. So I better eat now.
yeah, I was gonna say, eat up, boy.
That's another thing that that's people can see we're always thinking about fucking timing. Even next meal, I'm like, okay, every morning I'm like, okay, well, if I wake up at this time, I straight away I think, okay, what are the timings my meal's going to be today?
So
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. Yeah. Right. Um. So what what do you want to talk about?
We'll go on with it. We'll continue more with the trading part first, because obviously people don't understand as well. Doesn't matter how many drugs you take. Oh, I got new nails as well. Look, stars on the purple red.
Nice.
Anyway, yeah, people don't understand. Like, doesn't matter how hard you go on the gear. If you don't fucking create a stimulus in the gym, you're not going to grow.
Yeah, that's totally
Because
true.
back to you talking about the compounds, saying like sometime in your career, people they see all these seniors on Instagram doing these exercises like the pros doing. I'm like, they're not up to that level. I'm sick of seeing that fucking one arm pull down. People that have their fucking skinniest fucking pencils, they've got no back. How do you connect with your lat when you got no fucking lat? You shouldn't be doing. You got no business doing this.
I agree, but also at the same time, like, there's nothing wrong with doing them, but there is something wrong doing them with like shit execution, no intent,
Yeah.
no intensity, which are
But the thing is, beginners like just go pull something from the floor,
yeah,
do a
yeah,
huge heavy chest supported row. You're going
yeah.
to get so much more out of that. Like like I'm like this, and I'm literally like I can feel my lat contracting when I'm doing. Well, I don't know what they're feeling. They've got like I spent years building a back first. Yeah, I see them. I'm still, I do it on the Panada at the moment. I've got a, I don't really need a chest support because I can do it on the Nautilus without it.
Hmm.
But most people they're like on the cable, they're just kneeling on the ground, and like you can tell they're just doing it all wrong. I'm like, the reason why you can't do it right is because you probably can't even feel your back. You know?
I do agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. So
I'll just get my meal. Like, oh,
yeah,
chicken and beans.
nice.
I got 4 pieces of sourdough in the oven in the toaster.
The sourdough.
Yeah. I actually went to the bakery section of Woolies and just got them to slice up the loaf.
Oh,
Because the pre bought sourdoughs are shit.
oh, I still need to try. I still haven't tried it.
Mm. But yeah, people, I'm sick of seeing fucking quarter squats, quarter leg press. There's people next to me, they got double my weight on, and they're like beginners. I'm like over here doing like half their weight, and I'm doing like reps. I'm like, and then they put on more plates. I'm like, what makes you think you can lift heavier than me?
Full range of motion is definitely key.
Mm,
100%. If you can't get the full range and then you wanting to up the weight, like what's that doing?
yeah, I see people all the time. They come over. I was going to do hacks or something. I might just work in with me. I take 5 minutes break anyway. I've already got 2 sets anyway. And anyway, they're working with me. I'm like, go deeper. They're like, yeah, but then I won't be able to get out of the hole. It's too heavy. I'm like, exactly. You just literally answered your own fucking question.
That's the whole point.
uh,
That's the point.
if the only time partial should be used is in the lengthen range.
Mm.
So if you're in the hole and you're only coming up halfway, and then go down to the depth.
I do like using partials as some kind of like intensifier maybe towards the end of the session. Um, or really anywhere throughout the session um, as a finisher to like a back offset or something like that.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, you're right. Generally, more in the length and range rather than the short and range. For example, like a hamstring curl or something like that, doing like a set of 8 to 10 or whatever it may be, and then doing 5 to 10 partials.
in a length and range. Yeah,
That's a pretty good intensifier, I'd say.
yeah, because you're gonna do with your hamstring curl. Say your legs like this. You say my watch is the feet. You're not gonna come up and do partials up here. You're gonna
can't.
do the partials here in the length of it.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
Whereas a squat, nobody's doing partials in the hole. You know what I mean, everyone's doing partials at the top where it's useless. Your muscles not in a straight length of position.
I do
So
like,
yeah, it's easy, but it's like it's easy because it's not working.
yeah,
Try to do the partials in the hole. If you did a set of 8 where you're fucked, and then try to do partials in the hole, wouldn't even happen.
you got me to get out of it.
There's no way you'd be able to do it. You'd be like, nah.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think I've ever done partials on like, I might have done them on like a leg press, for example, but not on like a hack squat or anything like that. No.
I'd never do any intensifiers on any compounds. I save everything for isolation because I feel like if I do, especially because compounds that generate at the front of the workout, if I do any type of intensifier, all it's going to do is fuck up the rest of my workout.
I agree. If I do on legs, if I do add intensifiers, it would maybe be, you would usually be a rest pause. I'd say that's probably my favorite to do. I do like doing, drop sets and whatnot, but only on certain pieces. And yet again, like I'm not going to be doing a drop set on like a template. Like a template, like a leg press and trying to go either side from training by myself. Like that's just not going to happen.
So your hack squats are different because generally with legs, you might warm up with a leg curl and a leg extension. So you've already done some isolation moves. Like back and stuff, you don't need that. You can warm up and do that. Your first heavy movement is pulls from the floor generally because you want to be fresh.
Yeah.
But whereas legs, you want to warm the fuck out of your knees and shit. So hacks, you can probably do a back offset or a rest. Most people do rest pauses on hacks anyway. Because when they come up, they'll take a few breaths, do another fucking rep. I'm like, that's basically a rest pause. I'm like, when I come up in my actual set, I'll just be shy of lockout and I'll go straight down again.
Yeah.
As soon as you take breaths, to me, you can't monitor progressive overload, because then you have to do that every week.
I do agree. But in saying that, like, I feel like there's nothing wrong with taking, let's just say 3 to 5 seconds tops, absolute tops.
Yeah.
And then if you can do 1 to 2 more. Anything more than that, I feel like you're just skewing the data for the following session.
Yeah.
But there's no way to track it. So yeah. What about do you like doing compounds straight away, like for your like legs, like a hack squat first, or do you?
Probably not a hack, just not on legs. I need at least one exercise first. Even calves, even if I did calves first to open up my ankle mobility and start getting warmed up and blood flowing.
Yeah,
because once you got blood in your calves, it'll be all right because it's running through your legs. But with back, chest, I can come in and do a heavy press, heavy pull, always first.
Yeah, that's all of my movements for the main body parts. They're always some kind of compound first. Even with like my, actually no, besides my hamstring day, because I split quads and hamstrings up separately. So hamstrings, I don't have any. I don't like doing an RDL or a stiff leg deadlift first in any move, like in any session first. I think that's risky. I always do some kind of curl or some other movement before, because you're elongating the muscle straight away when it's cold. I don't think that's kind of like the safest thing to do. So it would always be like,
I agree with that.
So
same as like if I'm on leg day, I do the seated leg curl to take stress off the posterior.
Yeah.
But then on hamstring day, I do the lying leg curl.
Yeah.
And that's always a higher rep. I do the lower reps on the leg curl, like 10 to 12. But on the lying, I don't really like going under 10 because of that stretch on the leg. I feel like that's so ready to tear.
So I find my Well, hang on. So on your back, so you do hamstrings on your back day, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because I have a posterior day, which is like my second leg day, so it's hamstrings and a bit more back and a bit of biceps.
So what do you do seated on your posterior day?
No, I do seated on my leg day because hacks there's so much weight pushing down on
Oh,
your
okay, right, yeah.
spine, spinal loading. I do seated leg curls on leg day, but then on my posterior day when I'm trying to work erectors and that, I do the lying leg curl.
Yeah, so I was going to say, yeah, I do. If you go heavy enough on the lying leg curl, no matter how good your form is or whatnot, I feel like you're going to get some like little bit of like lower back or like erector, like just trying to stabilize. I feel like because those things can get pretty fucking heavy pretty quick.
Yeah, and at the moment because he's changed my RDL to a bent over row, because
Well,
he's like, let's build up your back more than your RDLs at the moment. Or I thought I'd need more hamstrings on, but so he's got that. So I'll do my two bicep movements first, then two back movements, then two hamstring movements. And the
bicep
first hamstring movement is lying leg curls, and doing that after bent over rows, I can already feel my lower back.
Hmm. Why do you do arms first?
My biceps suck.
If I was to do that first, I feel like my back session would really suffer. I wouldn't be able to
No, it
pull.
doesn't affect my back. I've got so good at disengaging my bicep that it doesn't affect my rowing at all.
Yeah,
So I do a lat pull down, double arm, like a normal one,
yeah,
with more leaning back, just upper back focus,
or upper back,
and
yeah.
then I do the bench over rows.
Oh, okay, so that's
Just two sets of each.
so it's more like an upper back focus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
So then after the hamstring movements, which is just lying leg curl and adductors, I do a rear delt.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I like that. Do you think so? I'm not a huge fan of utilizing any type of pull down for upper back. I feel like
Mm.
I get more out of it from just doing a variations of different rows.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I can get because I can connect my back so well, I
Yeah.
can get what I want out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I lock my elbows in as much as I can. I use the hammer bar,
Mm.
or, this grip,
Yeah.
and I sort of leap forward, and I'm almost like rolling it.
What? So you
You
do like
know,
a pullover movement?
no, it's just because I know how to keep my elbows in front and still pull to my hip.
Mm.
Yeah, I try to imagine pulling.
Yeah,
I'm just like straight
putting over.
down, straight down.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's all of my any lat focus movement for me. Anything that I am trying to target my lat, all I think about is elbow onto hip. That's the only key that I think of.
Yeah, pull to hip.
Not pulling behind me, not trying to curve, not trying to do anything other than my elbow into my hip. Not going past, not going short. That's all I think about.
I see people. I don't know how they do it. The elbow goes fucking like 10 meters back behind their back. I'm like,
I
the
can't even
fuck?
do
How does it
that.
even work? I can't even do that. But to me, it's like as soon as you hit that, if you can hit that midline of your body, so your elbow level of your midline. So
Yeah,
yeah, anything but that, unless you're doing shrugs or something.
but you can feel when you're at that point anyway because it almost cramps up.
Yeah, you're so
So
pumped. It's like,
exactly. As soon as you go past
and
that,
anyway, like I never try to fight that contraction because what are you doing in the shortened contraction? You're
exactly.
not doing anything. It's like when you tricep and you're trying to go fight that lockout. Like why?
Yeah,
You're just wasting energy. You're better off coming back, feeling the stretch again, and just doing like a pumps with the tricep.
I feel like yeah, like with that like lat contraction region, there's like a fine line of you'll know when you hit it, and
Mm.
it's but like you say in line with your body. As soon as you go past it, it goes elsewhere, like your teres, rear delt, whatever. If you don't hit it, then you're not going to feel it.
Mm. And like on those one arm pull downs I do, I might not even get to like here.
Yeah,
Or like, because I'm pulling straight down like here. I'll miss that little range because if I have to go here and go and pull it down, I'm straight away. I'm not using back when I'm doing that.
I feel
So
like
I go
I feel like a lot of
because the lats work when it's long.
yeah, I feel like that lower lat pull down. you see too many people doing this. Like
Mm,
they'll do like a side ab on it.
mm.
Like and they're like, oh yeah, I feel my lower lat, but they're feeling their obliques contract.
Yeah. You want chest up, arm up. I slightly turn a little bit because I'm getting wider now.
Mm,
So I rotate a little bit to it just so I'm in line with the line of force,
mm.
just straight down.
Yeah, that's all I got to think about. Just like the elbow into hip.
Mm.
That's really good too. Do you use the Nautilus pull down?
No, I don't have one on my gym.
You got to get one. They're good.
Uh, I use the Panada with the handle like this,
Oh
but
yeah, 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 yeah.
I put my D handle in it.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll tell you what's good. The that Nautilus pull down and the Nautilus flat press. We
Mm.
only have him loaded, but man, that's good. That's really good. I'll tell you what's
Yeah, I
also
got it. When I train at Dave's gym, he's got the Nautilus.
the Star Trek leverage
Mm.
flat press, converging flat press, and the Star Trek leverage um T-bar like upper back row. That's like a chest supported. Those two are like cracker. They're really, really good.
I'll tell you what's good. The prime equipment with the loading zones.
I've never used
Oh, the chest press and the fucking back row, fucking insane. I never get it. Just pulls apart my back. The feeling is nuts.
well, do you focus on the lengthen or shorten range for that, or mid
Always lengthen.
lengthen?
So I'll
Heaviest at the stretch. Yeah.
open up and pull back. I'll open up and pull back.
I've never used it.
In that stretch, like even my bent over rows, I was saying that I'll always pause in the stretch position and just
Hmm.
let it open up my back.
Yeah.
Don't roll in. Let it open up, roll in.
The only piece of equipment that I've used that has that, I don't know what to call it, like the where you can select the load of the movement, like whether it's more the short and the length ranges. I think it's called like the Pro Squat.
Mm.
It's we've got a knockoff of the I think it's by Rogers, like the squat machine. And
Yep.
it's got the different loading points. Loading it in the length and range there where it's heaviest in the stretch position, that's hard. That's
Yeah,
hard.
because if we look at studies, just going back to like the body fat as well, be pushing hard.
Hmm.
That P ratio people are talking about,
Yeah.
it keeps getting debunked all the time. Doesn't matter how much body fat you have, you still have the same percentage chance of growing muscle mass. So that's why another reason why, because I was starting to slide towards maybe I should stay leaner, but then but when more research came out where it's like, I mean, you look at powerlifters and that they get strong as fuck and still get heaps of muscle when they hold body fat.
Hmm.
So all the studies show that, and then going back to the studies and training, it all says partial range of motion is even sometimes superior to full range of motion in the lengthened position.
What do you
So
mean?
all training should be done, obviously, max mechanical tension you can handle, and also it's more advantageous to train in a lengthened position. So if you're
Oh
doing a
yeah,
tricep,
I
you want to
totally.
be, you want to be, when the people see, I see the extensions and they're like this,
Hmm.
doing the lockout position. I'm like, come up here. You want obviously your biceps going to squish into your forearm, stretch that fucker as much as possible, and then go
Yeah.
down. I never fully lock out, just pump it down.
Hmm.
Because as soon as you go to full lockout, you feel the stress in your elbow. Just
Well, it's
that
just not
fucking
like
stretch, pump.
focusing on one portion of a movement, it's not ideal. You got to be doing it. You got to be looking at the entire movement. That's why, like, there's no like, it's more advantageous to spending more time in the shorten and the lengthen range rather than just one or the other.
Yeah.
Why not do both? Why not get the best of both worlds? It's the same with like
Mm,
rep ranges. Why only do a set of 8, 10, or why only do a set of 15? You should do them all.
yeah. But I'm talking about in terms of like when people do their whole set, like if you're just, because it's shitty form.
Oh yeah,
If
yeah,
you're
yeah.
doing a whole set like that, you're better off if you're going to do partials, do them up here. Don't do them down there, Or if you're
Yeah.
doing like a set extender, like an intensifier, do it in the fucking lengthen range so you get the most out of it.
Well, exactly. Like like if you're extending the set by doing partials, there's no way that you're doing it in the contraction range, because if you fail,
Yeah,
then you can't,
yeah.
because you
You know what I do as well sometimes? I'll finish like my overhead triceps or any move, like a bicep, I'll hold it there.
hold
If
it.
you try to hold a tricep in the leg position, you're like, oh,
I've been there before.
it's fucking pumped. You have to let it go, you know? You're like, oh, once that blood's in there and you hold it, your muscle and you stretch it like quads. If you jump off the hack
Yeah,
after you set and you get into a sissy squat position, you try to hold your fucking quads
yeah.
there, you'd be like, fuck, they just burn.
That's what I've been doing lately. Forearms, just like you said. We've got a Nautilus. I don't know what I call it, like an um, overhead extension where it's got like the pad and your upper arms supported at like a
Yeah.
45 degree or so. So this kind of like stays still, but you're just extending out. And I do the same thing where I just stretch. I'll take it to wherever it needs to be in whatever rep range, and then I'll spend as much time as I can in the stretch. I wouldn't call it as an intensifier, but just so I can spend more time in the length and range. And yeah, you're
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, it definitely.
Are you
It
training
definitely
today?
Sorry.
What's that? Are you training today?
Yeah. I'm doing arms. There it is, the sourdough.
With olive oil and salt.
Oh, this guy. Look out.
What if I got say I got legs? I got hack
Um,
squats today.
I kill it. I did hamstrings yesterday, and they're pretty sore. I tried getting up throughout the middle of the night, and I'm like, oh, here we go.
You know what I've been doing after my last set, after I do the hamstrings and my adductors and redelts. At the end of the workout, I go back over to the leg press. Just one blade aside, and I hold it down as deep as I can, and I keep letting it push me down by single leg press and really stretch my glute and hamstring.
Oh yeah.
And I try to hold it as deep as I can for like 15, 20 seconds. Even that pumps me up.
Mm. I think
Just
anything's
stretch the
gonna pump
muscle
up.
again.
I think anything's gonna pump up with the amount of shit that
Mm.
you got in you right now.
Good old insulin.
Yeah. How much are you using of that?
I'm still on the 10 IU Lantis. I'll show you the pens. People love that. This is what people want to see, right? Drugs. So I've got the Lantis.
Yeah.
So I take 10 IU in the morning. You click it back to your IU. Then at the moment, I've got this Humalog pen.
Mate, Humalog's rubbish. Get rid of that.
Yeah, I just had it left, but normally I use these. Nova Rapids.
Nah, I still think they're pretty crap. You need to get the ultra, I'm sorry, the rapid acting insulin. So much better.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
I have this when I eat my pre-workout meal.
so
So it's like 45 minutes before gym.
it takes around like, for me, like 30 to an hour to actually see an effect, because I'm a diabetic. I monitor it. So like, I'd
Yeah.
rather be using something that's going to be in it, like as soon as I inject it, it's going to be working within 5 minutes. I don't want to be waiting, like, I don't want to be waiting around. Like, so for example, if I have my if I eat a meal, I'll have to shoot, if it's the Nova Rapid, which is a fast acting, even though it's
Yeah.
fast, it still takes half an hour to kind of kick in. That's too slow for
Yeah,
me.
that's what I have. Like after I pin this, it's an hour later I train.
Yeah, well, there you go.
It's just to shuttle my pre-workout meal in.
Yeah.
Because like it's weird. Like I still five I use nothing for me. If you
Mm.
have like 150 grams of carbs with that meal, five I use nothing.
Not much, no.
So it's just to help shuttle that meal in. But the fucking pumps, man. And then I have the 2IUGH morning and night.
How's that going?
Dude, I want to up it. I want to up it, but at the moment, kits are a bit hard to get. I'm waiting for a big order to come in.
uh,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm shitting myself. I'm like, fuck, I'm down to my last kit.
I'm still yet to incorporate it. Hopefully one day. Hopefully one day.
I can get some other stuff now as well. I've got two sources. One source is actually branded, so it's actually so like somatropin.
Mm.
No, I might try that. But we were talking about the other day. So I draw with that, a normal syringe, and I backload with these. So I take the plunger out,
Yeah, I know.
squirt the liquid
Yeah.
back in.
Just make sure that you get the air bubble at the top and not at the bottom. Otherwise, you'll screw it.
A little bit of air won't hurt. So even if you get air in your blood vein or whatever, it actually takes about 3 mil or something of air to do any damage.
No, I'm talking about. Yeah, but yeah, that's true. I always have a bit of air shoot through anyway. Like not much, but yeah, I agree. I
I
say
used to get shit scared and I used to aspirate, but it's all bullshit. There's oxygen in your blood anyway. To actually fuck yourself up, you probably need to pump at least a full one of these straight into your blood vein.
I wonder if that's happened to anybody. That's scary.
I remember it from The Simpsons. One time someone injects home, he goes, "There's just air in mine." They goes,
The Simpsons know everything. That they always predict, like they did the prediction with that a submarine.
I don't know how they do it.
I don't know how they do it. They're like he's actually like a genius. Oh, and my daughter's awake, so all right. Well, yeah, she just woke up, so that's time for me. All right,
Well, I'll
man.
quickly just touch on dosages for everyone.
Yeah.
So in the prep, I ran 2 grams of mast basically the whole way after a couple of weeks of ramp up, 400 tests, 4 IUGH, and for the last 8 weeks I ran 150 megatron. And I was running T3, 25 meg in the morning, 25 mcg morning, and then pre-gym I was doing another 12.5 T3, and in the morning I started at 20 mcg clean, and I ramped up to about 80 by the end of prep.
I can't use clean because it messes with my sugar levels, so I don't use clean.
Do you use T3?
Yeah, so I've got thyroid issues anyway, so I'm already using T4, and I've got a prescription for T3, so I just up that whenever I need to.
So is your T3 in pills?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not liquid. Yeah, so it's Tylenol or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. So because I've got a prescription for it, yeah, it's all in pills, so it's way easier.
Yeah, 25 mcg pills.
I can't remember. I think they're 20. My T4 is 125, so that's the dose. That's the dose that I use for my T4. And I do 125 every other day, and then 250 every other day, so alternating. And that keeps me in pretty good check in terms of T4 levels and overall thyroid function and whatnot. And then if I need to in prep whatever, I'll just add T3 to get that going. But
yeah,
I used about the same thing. I worked up to something like 50 micrograms by end of prep.
Yeah.
Obviously I started pretty low.
Yeah.
Straight to 50.
Well, they say 25 mcg is simulating baseline.
It's
and
really,
100 mcg if you do an T4.
Yeah, well, that's the exact. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that. And that's going off my bloods. All right, man. I'll get that
All right,
going.
man. Take it easy.
Yeah, you too. I'll upload this, and then we'll put up a poll about who we want on, or questions and answers, or something like that. We'll come up with some ideas.
Yeah, I think people like this one.
Yeah, man.
It's a big one.
Easy. All right, I'll catch you.
All right, take it easy, man.
All right, you too. See you, mate. Bye.